Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. I'm like, something is wrong. All I can see is a sky. There we go. Give me just a minute. Let's get rid of that screen. And full screen. There we go. All right, so now we have our trusty Aerosoft Airbus Extended. Oh, shoot. Let's see. All my screens are off. I really don't care. I just want to make sure the engines are running. All right, so we're just going to do a quick taxi around the airport. Come on, TrackIR. There we go. Try not to let the blank screens drive you too crazy, okay? So just looking around the flight deck, looking out the windows. You can see all the buildings there. And of course, when you're on this level, you really now get more of an idea of the volumetric grass as well. So you can really see the grass. So from a virtual cockpit level, I mean, it looks really good. It's hard to get that perspective when I'm just slewing around and flying around with a helicopter, but once you're in the virtual cockpit, I mean, you really do get a much bigger idea in terms of how good everything looks. And to be honest, from the VC, that photoreal terrain really doesn't bother me that much now, to be honest. You know, it just represents the hills in the background, you know. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like it's that big a deal. My centerline taxiing is horrible. Too busy looking around. So the runway textures look very nice. Yeah, I guess we'll just taxi full length and then we'll turn off toward the end. Yeah, let's take this high-speed turn off here. Usually when this thing loads up, all the screens are on. And there's our hangars, what they look like at ground level. And there's FTX Global Vector in the background. I feel like my eye point is like way too high. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, that's where it should be. Those two balls should be covering each other. Boy, I'm like way off center line. What's wrong with me here? Too busy looking around. To be honest, from the virtual cockpit, those mountains don't bother me. Looking at it from this perspective, it really doesn't bother me. I don't know. It may not change your mind at all, but from this point of view, it's really not bothering me. The green, the color of the green, though, seems a little too dark. Like the coloration is off, but it does still seem to blend in with the airport textures itself. So at the very least, it's got that going for it. Sorry, I'm looking away from my screen at the moment. Give me a second here. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and find a gate. Let's hit those toe brakes. All right, let's go over here. Come on, move your butt. So in the axe, with full AI traffic, you can see the counter up there. We're getting about 20 to 24 frames per second. I mean, it still looks fairly smooth. Don't get me wrong. It still looks fairly smooth for this much AI traffic to be active, and I'm broadcasting at the same time. It's still pretty smooth. But naturally, yeah, you can turn off the AI and you get even higher frame rates for sure. There's those control towers from the VC, which looks very nice. And we'll find a gate to pull up to here somewhere. Is there an open gate around there? Let's take a look. Ooh, there's Air New Zealand. Let's see, is there an open gate in here? No, there's no open gate in here, huh? It looks like they're all taken. All right, I guess let's taxi around to the other side and see. Come on, move, move, move. There's another China Southern over there. Yeah, Rolio's noting that from the VC, the scenery looks very good. I agree. I mean, because like I said, most of you're gonna enjoy a mega airport from your virtual cockpit, and that's what really matters. Your virtual cockpit and your spot view, obviously. And let's see if we can find a place to park. So again, looking at those mountains, it's really, you can't really see that they're low resolution, really, to be honest, not from here. But what you see is that color that seems slightly off. That's really what I see, is just the color. All right, we got plenty of gates over here. Why don't we pull up next to that Lufty 747-800 over there? Looking at those ground textures, very crisp. Taking a look over at the terminal there. So yeah, you can't see all the way through, but it really doesn't look that bad. I mean, in terms of the wall. Oh, did you guys notice the oil stain there? Look at that. Wow, that was cool. Did you guys see that? It had reflections too. I think there's another one coming up here. Take a look at that other one. I can't keep my ass on the center line to save my life. There's another one coming up on the right. We missed that during the flyover, so it's a good thing that we got down here to see that. Look at that. You can see some cloud reflections in it. Nice. What are you guys thinking about those VC shadows, huh? Any new prepared V2 users here? I gotta tell you, it's a very stable platform. All right, so we're gonna pull up next to Lufty over here. One of the things I also saw is that there's no guidance system. So I know with AES, usually AES supplies that, and that's probably why Taxi2Gate didn't bother putting it in. That's my guess. All right, pulling into the gate. I don't know if I'm on the center line or not. Nope. Come on, get on the center line. All right, I'm not sure where to stop, so I'm just going to stop right here because it doesn't tell me where to stop. Oh, no, it does. Hang on. Let me see. Where do I stop? There's A300, A310, 757. Where's A321? A340, 777, MD11, 767, 757. Yeah, I'd park it on 757. That makes sense. Let's scooch up just a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. All right, parking brakes, engine shut down. All right, let's try the Control J and see if it works. Yay, we have Control J. Let's grab GSX, request deboarding. Let's see, what else can we request from GSX? Request catering service. Let's request everything. Request refueling. Let's get all these guys out here. Now, this is why I like GSX, is because you get the, the actual GSX services applicable to the airport. Look at that. Cathay Pacific. This is actually not the most recent version of GSX with the de-icers. I actually haven't downloaded it yet. So, oh, whoa, that's shoving way too far into the airplane there. Let's see, any questions? So Aurelio's saying I have my doubts, but I have to say it looks splendid. Still, if they fix those small things, it would be one of the best sceneries this year. Pratt says, do people actually fly without track IR? Honestly, Platt, I think there are people that are still flying around with 2D, trying to look for 2D panels. I don't know who, but oh my God, I can't fly without track IR. Let's see. Zach says a problem is I fly PMDG, which is going to be a fortune. No comment. Let's see. Anything else? So yeah, there's no docking system. So obviously I had to switch to the external view in order to pull the plane up to the gate. Pratt, this is a wide body gate, but it's also a narrow body gate. As you can see, we're flying a narrow body, or we're taxiing a narrow body, and there is a place there for 757. 757 is a narrow body, so we parked on the 757 parking spot because the A320 is just slightly shorter than the 757, so that works out just fine. So it did position the jet bridge in the right place, but it just shoved the whole thing straight into the fuselage and destroyed it. So, but hey, it's P3D. It's as good as you're going to get. At the very least, Taxi2Gate did make the, what is this thing beeping for? Open cargo door and front doors. Oh, forget it. That's not necessary. So at the very least, they did go to the trouble of animating the jet bridge, so you can enjoy this airport in FSX or P3D without AES. So the downside is you don't have a guidance system. I guess if you have Easy Dock, maybe. So I don't know why Rolio's trying to tell me 757 isn't a wide body, as if I didn't know that. So, oh yeah, so Aurelio says the update is great. You also get a new docking system with numbers so you can see how far you're off. Okay, I guess I should have downloaded that then. Well, I'll definitely make sure to save it for the next live stream, which will be coming up probably tomorrow. Let's see. So there we have it. And just sitting here, let me just move my eye point up a little bit. So just sitting here a little bit, this is what the terminal looks like. So even all the way down here, I mean, if you're in a 777 or 747, you're going to be sitting up a little bit higher to see that wall. But I mean, in a plane, if you're way down here in an A320, you're really not going to see the see that wall in the background, but you can still see inside the terminal. So this just gives you an idea of what a gate area looks like from the virtual cockpit. So, and then the next thing I actually wanted to do, which I'm going to slew off this gate now. Let's see here. I'm just going to slew off. So we'll show that jet bridge movement one more time. So for those of you who had any questions as to whether you would have jet bridges animated without AES, yes you do. Just as long as you don't mind the thing banging into the side of the aircraft. So there you go. Great job there, Taxi2Gate. Oh, the other thing too is you really, I mean, does the roof really make that big a deal anymore from down here? I mean, you can't even really hardly see it. And in fact, let me, oh wait, what am I doing? I'm going to slew off the gate now. From the flight deck, I mean, you really can't, I mean, does it really look that bad, the roof? I mean, I get that it was a big problem when you're flying over it and slewing over it, but when you're approaching on a runway, you're not flying over the roof. You're not even going to be paying attention to the roof. When you're taxiing in, yes, you'll see the roofs, but I mean, when you're seeing it from a virtual cockpit, is it really that bad now? I mean, honestly. So I say no. I think it's actually just fine now, looking at it from this point of view, from this perspective. I wanted to pull up into this little terminal here and look at, see how the glass looks. The what do you call it? The non-internal modeled glass here. So just, just looking at it from here, actually looks pretty good too, this bit. I actually quite like it. And when you're pulling up or pulling away from the gate, you can see the reflections sort of change a little bit. I saw someone said they're getting dizzy. You obviously don't have Trek IR. I remember when I first got it, it used to make me dizzy as well. But then once you acclimate to it, you never get dizzy again. And not only that, but you can also set it up to your preference. So a preference for me is very sensitive, which would make most people dizzy. You can actually set it up so it's not so sensitive. So anyway, just seeing how this particular gate looks like from the terminal, it looks really good. You can see underneath there, and I mean, guys, come on. I mean, this took how many months to make? So I'm very impressed. Very impressed. So that's what it looks like from there, and let's see if we can find another gate to kind of mosey on up to. This is one of the larger gates here. So yeah, I mean, you do have your internal modeling. You can see those walls in the background, but again, like what was discussed earlier with the alpha maps or whatever the case is, and how certain maps can cancel each other out. I would have to go back in and look at Oslo and actually see if there's an issue with the glass, because that's actually something I didn't notice before, so I'm glad that was pointed out. So that is definitely something that I'll make it a point to look at, and I will write a post or something on AirDailyX and let you guys know about that. But even from here, looking at those arches, I mean, the thing is, again, we talked about so obviously they kept the polygons low in order to render these. Given the fact that there's so many of them, if they were to make them more circular, you'd probably see a reduction in performance. So that's something of a big deal too. I can see my frame rates have moved up into the 30s. So that's actually pretty cool too. Let me just move just move to the outside here. The frame rates are actually in the 30s and 40s, so the frames have actually climbed a little bit. So this is what it looks like from the outside, having your plane parked at the gate, although that's way too far back. But the buildings do look very nice. Seeing those roofs from this position, you know, maybe it'll annoy you a little bit. But other than that, though, I can actually say that I'm pleased with the scenery. I mean, looking at those roofs now, it's not that big a deal, to be honest. I mean, they could have made the resolution a little bit better, certainly. but it's not like totally killing the scenery for me. The dark glass here, this dark tint, I would have preferred if they went on ahead and make that just a little bit lighter with some reflection on it. Would have made it a little bit nicer. Looking at those mountains in the background, that's probably killing it for many of you, and maybe some of you will find out how to remove those textures. For me, though, I find that it's not really bugging me that much, so I'm not gonna. It's not a deal breaker for me. So I won't try to find a way to remove it. I'll be just fine with it. Anything else? Night lighting. Gonna do one more check to see if there's any question about anything else from now, and then we're gonna go to night lighting. Can you guys hear me okay? Someone says my night lighting, something's wrong. Testing. I'm gonna make sure everything sounds okay. Nope, I'm using the same mic. Let's see here. Something wrong with the microphone. So I'm going to go ahead and keep talking. Hopefully there's not an issue here. Hope not. So if there's no other questions from this point of view, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the night lighting now. And where's my trusty time preview switcher thingamajiggy? Let's see how everything looks as the sun starts to go down. Better now? I think maybe what you guys are hearing was the sound of the AI traffic coming in on the mic for my speaker. Sorry about that. Let's see. So again, I noticed you guys are talking about the AI packages. I mean, again, I use it for, I don't typically tend to fly with a lot of AI personally, but because I don't use World of AI anymore, I just elected to keep this in just so you guys can see what a busy airport looks like. I mean, don't get me wrong, the AI package does look good. It definitely does, but yeah, there are some things about it that I have not confirmed in terms of using other people's models or something without permission. And then besides that, there's the issue of the fact that I got a virus on my system forcing a reinstall. So I'm not really pleased about that at all. So I don't promote them as a result of that. So let's see, what time of day do we want to use here? Actually, I saw one that looked more like a dusk. Let me see, what time is this? This is actually 4 o'clock in the morning. Ah! Nope. Oh, right there. I want some sky, but not too much that it starts to take away. Okay, so night lighting. Lots of custom night lighting on the buildings there. I like the way that hotel is lit. You got some shades of blue and whites in there. Certain buildings show up as green. Other buildings have the light cast on them, like the Marriott over there in the background. I can tell you what's messed up already. I don't know if these are, as a matter of fact, you know what? Hang on a second. Because I might be getting this wrong. Let's go to desktop real quick. I might be getting this wrong. Let's pull up Google Earth. I don't know if these are skylights or if these are, or if they're just designs on the roof of the building. So let's just check that out real quick because I don't actually know. All right, let's see here. Come on. Ah, shoot. I can see the, no, it went to that. I can't tell from here. Maybe there's pictures of the inside of the building. Oh, they are skylights, right? Let's see. No, that's not a good picture. I can tell from here. Yeah, it looks like they are skylights. No, that's not a good picture. Yeah, here we go. This is a good picture. So they are definitely skylights, okay? Because for a minute there, I was trying to figure out if they were just designs on the building or if they were actually skylights. But actually from here, you can see that they are skylights. Yeah, they are definitely skylights. So going back to the scenery here, the skylights are not lit at night. So that kind of sucks a little bit. I can see this area here, which I complained about earlier, is lit up now. So that can be seen a little bit more at night. Let's see, lots of other buildings in the background seem to be well lit at night. I can see the hangar in the far background there, which looks fairly good. Let's go to the virtual cockpit here. See, so we can see, wow, you can actually see some depth in the, what is this called? In the underneath the ceiling here. You can actually see a little bit of depth there, which is very interesting. Just taking a look at the apron here. Apron looks nicely lit at night. And let's actually go to more of a, let's get rid of a little bit more of the sunlight here and go to more dark lighting here. Take a look around. And let's just taxi around a little bit here. I'm going to cheat and drive through some of the airplanes. I know it would look better if I just stopped being lazy and turn the gauges on. Alright, so we're just going to taxi around just a little bit and just get an overall view of what the terminal looks like lit up at night. This AVCAT really needs to be changed. These planes are sticking out way too far on these gates. I like the way it's lit though. So really was saying the lighting of the skylights is another shortcut that they perhaps made to get the release out. I mean, even if they would have postponed it a couple of weeks to fix that, it's still out before Christmas. But nevertheless, that's just one of the things I happen to point out. So the night lighting in the terminal looks nice. In fact, at night, that wall looks even better because then it just looks like it's nighttime on the other end of that wall. So not as noticeable now. Maybe we'll impress Captain Gumbo and do a belly landing here. We'll fly with no gauges. So you can see some lighting out there in the background across the harbor. Looks nice. Need to take a look at that runway approach lighting as well. And I actually want to get over to the cargo side as well and take a look at the way some of those buildings are lit. You can see the ground lighting very, very well also. It's very clear. In fact, hang on a second. I'm really being lazy today. Sorry, screen's gonna go black for 1 second. Come on, load. Load for me. Let's see here. I'm going to try to cheat. I know I'm pushing the VAS pretty far now. Where's my eye point here? There we go. At least want to get something going here. Okay, here we go. And FSUI PC, please. Thank you very much. So the ground, you can see the ground textures here very well. Very clearly, actually. Very nice. So you're not going to have any trouble seeing where you're going at night, that's for sure. And I like the taxiway edge lights too. I like the little glow and cast that they kind of cast along there. So the night lighting is very nice. I like the taxi lighting as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screw around and take off, and let's see, let's go flaps 2. I'm just gonna take, or is that 5? I'm just gonna take off and fly around and land and see what the approach lighting looks like. I usually slew around when I do that, but just for kicks and giggles, why not? So the night lighting is really nice. Take a quick moment and look over at some of your comments while I try to taxi around here. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm looking at the laptop now, so sorry. Let's see here. So, Ricey Spicy, welcome aboard, says, definitely think they should have taken a little more time. Some big shortcuts in the surrounding area. No big Buddha, no cable car. Good effort, but feels rushed overall, I think. So, another comment there. And as I turn back to the main screen and find that I'm taxiing through the grass, apologies. Taking a look over at those hangars, though, look at the night lighting on that. Very nicely done. Keiko. They actually really did kick ass with the night textures, I think. Let's get to the outside of the little airplane here. So they actually did a really nice job on the night textures. I mean, look at the all the taxi lights, the center lights, edge lights, all look very nicely done. Apron lighting there. It's funny, there's apron lighting here, but I don't see the light poles, which would be casting the light. So, I don't know, interesting notation. Does anyone know what this is? This big circular thingy? If anyone can tell me what that is, I don't know what that is. So I'm really digging the night lighting here. All right, screw it. Let's just get over to the runway. We're going to have a little bit of fun here and just do a quick takeoff. I know I'm probably going to get an OOM any minute now for having changed the aircraft. In fact, I think I just did. Oh, yeah, okay. I just ran out of memory. Sorry. I changed the aircraft 3 times, and it didn't like that too much. That's okay. I'll just reload the scenery back to nighttime. Sorry about that. All right, let's close the program. Yeah. The bear says hello. Okay, let's just start it one more time. Yeah, I figured I'd be pushing my luck changing aircraft again. I thought I'd try it anyway. All right, we can take a minute and look at some comments while we wait for P3D to come right back. Almost done. We're going to do just a quick look at the night lighting, the approach lighting one more time. I don't know why I'm having problems with my Copenhagen. And then that should be pretty much it. Let's see here. And yes, a question, can I go over to the cargo ramp? I will definitely do that. And Zuna says that the approach lighting is the same when I last flew in. It's amazing. Patrick is asking, what's the overall feeling of the scenery? If we look at just the airport itself, and if we say, okay, we'll put on a scale of 1 to 100, the airport itself, in my opinion, is a 95. There's just a couple of things that could be improved in a service pack or an update, such as the roofs could use a little bit of a higher resolution texture. What else did I point out? Think. Things like parking lots could be a little bit better. I know you guys could probably care less about that, but the parking lots could be better in a lot of areas. And then just the aerial imagery on the approach should be of a higher resolution, because there's a lot of, you know, logistics buildings and things between the runway and as you approach over the main highway there. And there is traffic enabled with a default simulator traffic, but you know the roads and how they clash with the terrain, it's very blurry. You know, I mean, if you're flying over that at 130 knots or whatever, maybe you don't notice it that much. But for me, it's one of those things that's definitely noticeable that could have been done a little bit better. So I mean, that additional 5%, if it would have taken them another 2 weeks to do that, it would have been better. But if they can, you know, correct that in a service pack, or an update, I think that gets the airport up to 100%, in my own opinion. But then there's the issue of the surrounding photo terrain. And a lot of people just don't like the way the terrain appears, and the fact that it lacks a lot of what's that word again? Sorry, landmarks. It lacks a lot of nearby landmarks. So that would be pretty much the other end of that spectrum. Some of you may disagree. Maybe you'll give it a slightly lower rating. Where is the Aerosoft thing? Publisher. Let's see. Let's find something. AirAsia. Screw it. Let's do that. Okay. Oh, actually, no. We want nighttime, don't we? Dusk. Fall. I guess that's fine. Okay. There is a helipad there. Yes, I think I did see a helipad when I was flying around. Did I or didn't I? No, that might have been part of the Fly Tampa scenery. I don't know if I saw a helipad in there. Let's see. Ray Conan says it could be for jets to test engines. Pratt says compass calibration. I don't know. It's very interesting. Let's see. Pratt says that's why he doesn't like P3D. I don't know what he means. What are you referring to, Pratt? The fact that I ran out of memory for having changed 2 different Airbuses and a helicopter? Is that why? That I would get an OOM after doing something that I shouldn't have done? Let's see. And then let's also keep in mind that we flew through Hong Kong from Fly Tampa. So that was an inducive out-of-memory error. Oh, crap. I forgot to put in the airport. Shoot. Now I'm going to push my luck again. How could I forget to do that? All right. Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, 4096 textures will do it sometimes also. Yeah. But Pratt, if you do with FSX what I just did today with today's live stream, you will get an OOM. So good play for FSX there, but you're not going to do an FSX what I just did in P3D. So, and you'll get an out of memory error. Absolutely. So yes, and thank you for pointing out and the lack of night lighting on the skylights as well, which is something that could have been added. Adam Chino's asking, just joined, any moving airport vehicles? You're kind of heading toward the latter end of the stream coming on board, but yes, there is a lot of active moving vehicles across the ramp. These this entire live stream will be available in an archive broadcast later on today or early tomorrow. So you will be able to go in and see the full screen later on. Oh, shoot. I really just wanted it to load up without me having to go through hell doing it, and now I know I'm going to run out of memory again. Shoot. My apologies, guys. I can't load that again a third time now. All right, let's try this one more time. Come on. Actually, it already runs as administrator. I don't know why I do that. It takes it so long to stop. Come on. Okay, you're pissing me off now. Why do you always take so long to quit? Get out of here. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna do this one more time. That was my fault. I loaded up the wrong airport. Let's see. Oh, do the vehicles have yellow tops? No, I don't think I noticed any yellow tops. The suspension bridge to the air, all the bridges are there, but I have double bridges in many areas. So that's something of an issue. So yeah, unfortunately, some of you are coming in toward the latter period of the stream. I know the stream has been going on for, gosh, how long now? 2 hours and 40 minutes. Holy crap. So we've got to cut this off before we get to 3 hours here. This is a long one. So we're going to do this one last little bit, look at the approach lighting on the runways, and that should pretty much conclude it. And I'll start getting this stuff uploaded to YouTube right after the stream, and it should be available either really late tonight, my time, which would be in another 12 hours, or it'll be available by the afternoon Eastern Europe time tomorrow. And you can come back to airdailyx.net and you'll find it in the ADX First Look section. So yeah, basically what I've been doing lately is I've been getting into more of the live streams, which sort of been taking over the ADX First Look. So if you just click on that First Look button there, and then I've been making it a point to add all of these new live streams. So last week we did Tromsø, and we included Bergen and Oslo in there as well. We did the Dreamflight Puerto Plata, and we threw in the Victa Air Tour from Orbix, which was released last week. And then we did Imagine Sim Austin also. And then these are some of the others that we did in the past week. And these are all live previews. So you just click on any of those, and then of course you have the YouTube streams that'll pop right up there. And there you go. So make sure you check out some of these other streams that we've been doing over the past week. Just keeping you busy while we wait for the thing to load up. So supposedly someone said, I need to turn my phone over here. Someone said there might be news from Flight Sim Labs. I don't know if I read that correctly or not. We'll need to take a look at that. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Let's see. All right, let's see here. Where are you? Where's the Airbus? Where are you? Let's see. Here we go. We'll pull up the Jabberwocky again. All right, now let's make sure we put in the airport this time. And we'll go back to summer since that's where we started before last time. All right, let's do this one more time. Sorry about that. She loads quickly. I can't stress this enough. If you guys are using P3D, you really should use an SSD. It just makes a huge difference loading, especially something like a mega airport with all that air traffic, 100% AI traffic and all that stuff, plus the user aircraft, and then you got weather and everything else on top of that. I just can't stress it enough. It's well worth it to use an SSD. Everything just gets loaded so much faster. All right, let's load up FSUI PC, please. There we go. All right, I think we are good to go. It's a little bit dark, but I think that should be okay. All right, let's just try really quickly. Make sure track IR is ready to go. Yes, it is. Okay, so someone did ask to take a look back over at the cargo facility. So I'll make it a point to, well, actually what we'll do is we're just going to do a little fun, quick takeoff. We're going to take off of, I can't even see what runway that is. It's too dark. But we'll come back in on the cargo side, and then we'll taxi around over there a little bit just to get a look. In fact, I think I might bring just a little bit of daylight so we can just get some depth here. Time and season, or time preview, that's fine. Just to see a little bit, a little daylight here, but still get those very lovely apron lightings going. And I always run in full screen mode. I never run in window mode, which I just reminded myself I need to make sure that the broadcast software has not still got me in window mode here. Let me just double check. Because it did. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick takeoff, turn around and land, and if Captain Gombo is still around, I haven't seen him in a minute, so he won't be here to make fun of me if I do another belly landing. And this is Aerosoft's brand new A319, or is it the 18? One of the two. Fun little airplane. Sorry that I don't go through the trouble of setting up the aircraft for these streams, but we tend to lose focus getting into that. Alright, I'm just going to throw a guess at 130 knots and then rotate. Actually, you should be able to rotate at 120. So taking a look around here. Maybe we should do a touch and go at Kai Tak. What do you guys think? Should we just have a little fun and then fly back over to Hong Kong? Maybe we'll do a touch and go. What the hell? It's Sunday. I've got nothing else to do. What time is it? It's 1:34. I got a minute. Why don't we do that? Wow, why does GSX do that? That's kind of annoying. Let's see. I think we should be back before the lights turn off. If not, I'll just turn the lights back on. Screw it. We'll fly over into Flight Tampa Kai Tak real quick, just for fun. We'll do a quick approach over the city there, and then we'll turn around and come back. We'll just do a complete visual approach here. Ah, the scenery must be loading. Okay, here we go. So you can see some of the bridges down there, but from what I had, some of those bridges were like double bridges for some reason, which was really weird. So let me see if I can zoom in here. I'm not seeing it now. Well, it was there earlier. I don't know, maybe it was a loading issue, but from here I don't actually see it, so whatevs. I'm actually excited to do a Kai Tak approach since it's been like forever since I last did one. It's been a while. We'll see how rusty I am. Have a little fun here. Oh, yes, and Fonzie is reminding me not to forget the rec settings. Okay. You might have to remind me one more time. All right, I've got to find where the approach is here because I'm doing this just off the top of my head. I'm not actually sure where to start the approach. I know you come in over the harbor there somewhere. Let's see, where am I at? 5, okay. Let's see, I think... where is it? I gotta try to think here. Trying to remember. See if I can just look for the approach lights, then I can do it that way. I know it's over here somewhere. Where are those approach lights? I don't even see the approach lights. I'm really guessing now, guys. I'm sorry. This is a guessing game. I think I'm a little too low, too. I thought they had approach lights down here. Oops, excuse me, excuse me. Speed, speed. Whose voice is that? Jeez. Airbuses come with a lot of personality, don't they? They call you a retard. Alright. I don't see the approach lights. I do see the checkerboard, so I'm just going to fly straight at it, since I have no idea where I'm going. Oh, look at those buildings. They look so beautiful in P3D, don't they? Alright, we're just going to go right for it. Ooh, I think I'm way too high. 1,000. Come on, let's push as close as we can. Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Gosh, it's like really hard to find it. I see you now, and I see I'm off too. I'm like a little too far to the left. I'm like way too far to the left, isn't it? Speed, speed. You're not sure if it's 4 or 3 or what? Jeez. Figure it out. Ah, shut up. There's too much singing in my ear. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 5. Yeah, I'm a retard. I get it. My flying proves that. Alright. Let's go back to 2. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, that was horrible. Oops. All right, let's go back to check that cock. Yeah, I think Flight Tampa put something up on their website that allows you to use like default lights. or a brighter light or something like that, because yeah, they are. They're too. What's wrong with my brakes? They're too hard to see. So anyway, if you're paying attention, you can see that the that's too loud. You can see that the blending between the two sceneries is actually pretty minimal. So what's wrong with my brakes? Jeez. I had to switch back to these Cytec rotor pedals because I had issues with the Redbirds, and the Cytecs are just, they're so doggone flimsy. All right, what's my airspeed here? All right, so as far as compatibility between the two, it's actually pretty it's pretty seamless. But what I'm going to do for a future stream is I'll do a Macau. I know that a lot of these streams I do are for recently released airports, but I figure I should probably go back in and start doing some of the older airports that have been released as well. So at some point, I'm going to start getting into that as well. And because I'd actually like to add Macau. Macau is just like right where these little mountains are here. And it's a really short flight. And it would have been great to put all three of them in the same stream. But I've got to dig through my hard drives and try to find it. And that'd just be too much work. So I wasn't prepared because I just, honestly, I totally forgot. Oh, my strobe lights are off. I didn't realize that. Yeah, too fast. I get it. All right, so we're going to go back in and approach Hong Kong. I don't care about the overspeed. Let's just hurry up and get back before those lights turn off, which I think they probably already did. I hope not. Yeah, the flap setting for takeoff was way wrong. I screwed that up. Yeah, I waited too long. I forgot that I was going to do a touch and go. So then I'm starting my takeoff run with full flaps. So, and then my fingers on my Thrustmaster Warthog here, I clicked the wrong button. All right. Ha ha ha, Captain Gombo. Ha ha ha. It was still a bad approach though. I couldn't figure out where to go. That was a big problem. I didn't intercept the ILS, and then I couldn't see the chase lights too, because sometimes I just rely on the chase lights and then I follow those in. But anyway. All right. Almost done with today's stream. We're going to just fly right back in, take a look at the approach lights, and that should pretty much do it. This is like a stream going on 3 hours, so anything that you would have missed, once again, it'll be available at airdailyx.net or via our YouTube page later tonight or tomorrow morning. And you'll be able to go in and see the whole thing and sort of decide for yourself what you like. And it's a good thing that we're actually flying in from this far, because I know the big issue was these mountains. So we actually kind of get to see what they look like a little bit more as we approach in. Of course, at night, it's hard to really make out the details, but you can just kind of see that they're there. But, I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, they did buy a photo, real coverage to cover the entire island. If they would have used high-resolution photo scenery for an area that big, they would have paid a few $1,000s for it easily. So it's easy to understand why they didn't, to be honest. I think I'm going to take the lighting down a little bit here. The time offset, it's just a little too bright. Let's do that. That's better. Okay, that's better. I just want to make sure that those lights are going to be on. Okay, let's try to get into the approach here. I know, I'm just flying all over Hong Kong like it's my own personal city. Oh, I need to bleed off some speed. I'm going way too fast. Yeah, a lot of this area too is part of the photo terrain too. You can actually see that even at night. It's pretty obvious. Yeah, I'm going to nosedive this bad boy because I ain't going to fly back around and come in on the other side. Yeah, I know. Let's get down to 1,500, shall we? Yeah, we're nosediving. Still too high. And way too fast. And bank angle. Here we go. I'm going to bleed off that speed now. Come on. Drop, 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 drop. There we go. That's better. Still too high, though. Come on. Arrgh. All right, so where are those chase lights? Maybe they're on the other side of the runway? What's going on with the chase lights today? I don't get it. I know those light towers are out there, though. I'm probably going to have to get really close to them, though, to see. Let's see. Get really close to the ground and see. I don't even think they're lit. I don't see them. You know what? I don't even see them. It doesn't even look like they're on. Wow, they're not on. Wow. Oh, wait, they are on. Wow, you can only see them when you get right on top of them. You guys see them now? Wow, you can only see them like right when you're right over them. They should be a little bit brighter than that, though. Oh, that kind of sucks. I was expecting a little bit more than that, to be honest. Ouch. I was expecting a little bit more than that. That kind of sucks. Okay, I want to slew over to the other side real quick. I just want to see if they're on. So the approach lights, I think if you ignore the shitty landing, the approach lights, which I was spending too much time looking at, not flying, are way too dark. So on an approach, we couldn't actually see them until we were like right on the other side. Somebody asked about the cargo side, so there it is for you. At night, not going to get too close to it. Going to leave a little bit for your imagination. But now I am going to slew off here a little bit because that looks like it looks like we pointed out another issue here. Unless you guys disagree, but number one, I was a little disappointed to see there was no chase lights. But these lights are not very bright. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they're custom lights, but I mean, how close do we have to get to them before we could actually see them? I mean, you should be able to see those lights from miles away. At least on a 10-mile final, you should be able to see those lights. Here, though, we're not even, we're just a few hundred yards from the threshold, and you can't see those lights. So when you're approaching in, there's no chase light, and then you can barely see them as you're coming in. Look at that. That's not very bright at all. Let's take a look at this side. Looks like the same thing. Yeah. All right. So any comments on that? That's another thing that should be, because I remember with Istanbul, the lights were much brighter. I mean, the runway lights look fine. The runway lights look really good. And you can see the runway lighting from, from far off. So the runway lights look good, but the approach lights, not so good. Let's come back in here one more time. There's the approach lights. But it's like you got to be right on top of them, in order to see them. So that kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, look, you get about that far off, and they're pretty much disappeared. Huh. Okay, well, there's that. All right, anyway, someone wanted the cargo section. I'll just plop down right here. And that is pretty much it. I'll take a look at any final questions. Let's see here. Yeah, so definitely there's a lot of responses that FTX Global is probably the better way to go. So I'm just going to say again what I said the first time around, as it pertains to the island coverage. If the files are separate from the airport files, and you should be able to go in and investigate and find out which ones you need to remove, and then. But if they're not separate, I'm not sure how you would do that, because then you could wind up with the airport losing its photo row textures too. So that's a good question. I can reach out to the developers and see, and try to get their thoughts on that. Let's see here. And yeah, I did. Adam is talking about Disneyland, and they have, like, it looks like it's a little bit covered in photoreal, but for the most part, no, there's no Disneyland added in. Let's see. Oh, Rex textures. Okay, I'll get to that right now. Gumbo, glad to have you on board. See you later. Let's see. Approach lights. Well, the thing with the approach lights, Flight Cafe, is these are all custom. So these are not, like the default FSX lighting. So that's the good thing, is because when developers don't use custom lighting, people tend to get on their case about it. But when it comes to the custom lighting, it just needs to be brighter. And of course, they can make them brighter. I've seen certain developers do it. In fact, there's certain developers like UK 2000 where their lights are way too freaking bright, and they've got like these huge halos and stuff on them. But it is possible to do. In this case, though, definitely they need brighter approach lights. So we looked at 3 of the runways, and we could definitely see that the lighting, you can only see it until like you're 100 yards from the threshold, and at that point there's just no point. So that definitely could be done better. Let's see. Oh, there's a question if I can go to the mini terminal and see if the jet bridges line up. Sure, I can do that really quickly. Let's see, where is it? It's over here somewhere. We're going to cheat and just slew on over there. Actually, I like how the lights light up the grass there. You can actually kind of see. Okay, where is it? Over here. Hopefully there's an open gate for us. Yes, there is. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull on into it. Hang on a second. Where are you? Right here. Taxi. There we go. Turn off those landing lights. And of course, the other thing is there is no docking system, so that was one of the other things that we pointed out as well. So by request, we were asked to pull up into this terminal, which we're going to do now. And because there's no docking system there, although, what is that thing hanging right there? Oh, nothing. I'm going to have to go to the outside to make sure that I'm pulling up properly here. And where is the ground marking here? Let me see. Oh, there's nothing written here. So I can't actually tell where I should stop. So we'll just pull up. We'll just pull all the way in. Whatever common sense dictates. Let's see. Let's pull up a little bit further. We'll stop right here. I think this should work. I never put my flaps back up there. Not after that crappy landing. Control Juliet. Let me see. I don't think I need to. Maybe I do. Let's see. All right, there it goes. Ouch. Ah! Ah! Okay, so let's try something here. Hang on. Let's take the jet bridge back. Control. See, the thing is, I didn't know where to stop. So let me try just pulling the aircraft forward a little bit more and see if that makes it any better. Gosh, it totally broke my airplane. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Let's just scooch it up a little bit. Ah! Let's try right there. Let's see if that makes a difference. So Adam says, I'm still getting this. There's still room for improvement, though, which, yeah. I mean, Taxi2Gate is really on... Oh, wait, is it going to do it again? But I pulled it forward this time. Oh, come on. You know what? Let me back it up a little bit, and then let's see what happens. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, and that's the thing with Istanbul. I mean, that airport was just done so perfectly. And the same thing with Orlando. And I think with Taxi2Gate is I think they realize people don't like waiting 2 years for a scenery anymore. So they've come up with a very impressive means of getting sceneries out so much faster. But I think alongside that, though, I think that they can do to slow down just a little bit. In terms of getting certain details, because they do listen to a lot of the complaints out there, and a lot of people are saying, oh my God, it's 3 years already going on this airport. What the hell is taking so long? So they've got the speed down, and they've got the quality down. But I think it's just a matter of maybe slowing down just a little bit and making sure that the quality level, stays up to par. And I think they can find the right, mix between speed and quality. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm extremely happy with Hong Kong here, and it's just the little things that can be improved. And I think that's what we've sort of noticed. It's just there's just little things that it could be all improved in one update, with the exception of the photo reel, which I don't really know. All right, so it looks like this time it didn't crash into the plane though, which is funny. I don't know. It's like a game of Russian roulette trying to figure out where exactly you're supposed to park this airplane. I'm gonna do this one more time because it seems like there's a sweet spot in there on these jet bridges. So, in terms of where you park your plane, whenever AES gets available for those of you using FSX, then you'll definitely have that option. If you're using prepared, I think there's the Easy Dock or whatever. There's some program you can use that puts those there. Or I think someone noted that GSX in their latest update actually has docking systems now that they pop up there. I haven't downloaded it yet, so that's going to be the first thing on my list to do as soon as we're done with today's stream. And then I'll showcase that in the next stream, either tomorrow or the next day, and we'll do that. So, okay, see, it's going to slam into the plane again. This thing is kind of weird trying to figure it out, to be honest. But you know what? It's better than no jet bridge at all. And at least from the virtual cockpit, as long as you can't see that jet bridge sticking through, which you actually kind of can. But at least it doesn't interfere with looking straight ahead. So at least you've got that going for you. So anyway, that is pretty much it. I'm going to take a look at Rex real quick. Whoever was asking for that, I'm so sorry, but you've been very patient. So I'm going to pull up my rec settings because that was requested here. So I'm going to do that really quickly. What is it? Nope, wrong one. There we go. Our bear is getting ready to say goodbye to everyone. All right, where is Rex? Rex for Texture Direct. Here we go. Since that was asked for. There we go. Okay, where is my textures? What am I using? All right. So how do I show the ones that I'm actually using as opposed to whatever's in the front? Yeah, okay, so these are the ones I'm using. So it looks like sometimes it's hard to tell. Wait, there's a button here where I can look at what I'm already using. Where is it? Is it in my themes? No. You know what? I don't actually save them as my themes, unfortunately. Shoot. Which ones am I using? That's a good question. Darn it. Let me see. Wait, where is the water textures? I know some of them I remember them, and some I don't. Like the wave animation, I know I use Clashing Waves is the one that I'm currently using. But unfortunately, I can't tell you which one I'm using because it doesn't show it to me unless I save it into my themes, I guess. So unfortunately, I can't actually show you. You think you click on it and it will just automatically show you the one, but instead it just shows them to you as they're already installed. Darn it. But unfortunately, I can't show you which ones that I'm already using. Shoot. Yeah, you know what? I should save my current ones in theme somewhere. I think I have to create a theme, huh? Yeah, I actually have to create it in a theme. So I'm really sorry I can't show you because I kept thinking that, because that's the way the old Rex used to work. Oh no, here they are. No, they're right here. Is this it? Oh yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is my cloud effect. So I'm using Cirrocumulus. That's for high level. Low level is Nimbostratus Panis. There we go. Okay, I knew it did show it somewhere in there. Cancel. Lightning is the first set, which is Dual Strike. Cancel. Sky Dawn Beyond. Sky Day Woodlands. Sky Dusk is City at Night. Sun Effects is... That's actually not the Sun Effects I usually use, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Set 1 is all it says. Global Water is the Bright Clear Coral. Wave Animation is Clashing Waves, which that I showed earlier. Oh, another anonymous theme. Okay, cancel. And then you have certain things like airport lighting. Actually, I usually use the more... What is that? LED style lighting is the one I usually like to use. So, concrete, asphalt heavy use, concrete heavy use, dirty, asphalt taxiway, concrete taxiway, set 1, and taxiway marks old and worn. As you can see, I like a very beat up runway. And then you have your sound effects here. You get your thunder. I actually like this one. That's a pretty good one. And then you got your wind. Alright, so anyway, that gives you a little bit of an idea of what Rex 4 Texture Direct adds over your, the default offerings of FSX and Prepared. Anyway, I'm going to take a look, see if there's any final questions or comments. I think we pretty much covered it very well. We had a very honest overview of the airport. And again, I love it. I think it's definitely worth the price. So much here was done right. And so much here I happen to personally find to be quite impressive, especially given the fact that the airport was developed in just a few short months' time. With that said, there's a few things that could use some improvement. The lighting on the terminal roofs do not have lighting that show up underneath them at night. So that's something that, would have been done better if they just had it transparent and actually had the glass, because then you'd see the lights naturally, or they would just have to go in and simulate the light on those skylights at night. So the other thing we noted, I think somebody's going to remind me of what else I missed. Definitely, there are some areas within the airport itself, in terms of the photo reel outside of the airport boundary, that could have been done a little bit in higher resolution. The night lighting approach lights are too dark. So the runway lights are great. The taxiway, apron lights, airfield lighting is all tremendously well done. But on the approach, those lights that stick out into the harbor there, you can't actually see those come on until you're like right over them, which is way too late. So that kind of serves a purpose, because you should be able to see those lights like on a 10-mile final. So that was a little bit disappointing as well. And then, of course, the roof in the foreground here, this black roof here on the small mini terminal, was actually done quite well. The resolution there was very well done. But on the actual main terminal here in the background, the resolution's a little too blurry. So it could have been a little bit sharper. Of course, when you're from the virtual flight deck, you really don't notice it too much. So a lot of things that you notice when panning over and flying over the airfield, those imperfections you really don't see from the virtual cockpit, which is a good thing for those of you who never leave the virtual cockpit. And then last but not least, the biggest issue was that people just didn't like was the surrounding terrain. I think the census there was that the surrounding photoreal terrain covering the island, the coloration was not desired, as well as the fact that it's just too it's not a very high resolution detail coverage. Another thing we noticed at the beginning of the stream as well, flying over it, was the fact that there's a lot of trees in the water as well. And then last but not least, it just lacks the major landmarks on these hills. There's a large Buddha, I'm told. There's cable cars up there. There's a Disneyland thing. So a lot of areas there that was not added that people would have liked to have seen. And those are the only real negative things that we had to point out. Other than that, I mean, it definitely stands on its own 2 feet in terms of a very high quality mega airport. I think it's currently trending #2 on SimMarket, which is the only place where it's currently being sold. And that was another thing that some readers pointed out, is they would like to see Taxi2Gate products sold on more web shops and different web shops, so besides SimMarket. So and of course the AVCAD for this mini terminal, aircraft are way too big to be parked here. I mean, obviously this is a terminal for smaller aircraft and regional flights, so you might want to go in and change your AVCAD to reflect that. Besides that, there's just a hope that once that midfield terminal is complete, the Taxi2Gate will come back in later on and redo that, or actually model that in. They did add a little bit of it just to give you an idea of the current level of construction. But other than that, I personally really love the airport, and I think it's another terrific release for Taxi2Gate. Maybe they could slow down just a little bit. What are these vehicles here also? I'm also noticing there are some vehicles parked on the actual taxiway. This is my first time noticing this. There's a bus there and a truck that shouldn't be there, because that's on the taxiway. There's another catering truck over here. Oh no, this is GSX. This is GSX's stuff, isn't it? Yeah, that's GSX's stuff. Never mind. That's GSX's stuff, it looks like. I don't know. Is that GSX or what? I think it is. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I know it's enabled. I can't really tell. I don't know if that's GSX or not. But if it's not GSX, these vehicles should be not parked where they are. I don't think they are GSX. I think it's part of the scenery, because someone asked before if the vehicles have the yellow roofs, and I see that. So I don't think this is GSX. Yeah, I think these are part of the scenery. So this bus needs to be moved out of there. That catering truck, they need to be moved actually onto the ramp area. Other than that, though, I really love the airport, and I'm really happy with it. And I will be enjoying many great flights, as I'm sure many of you will be as well. It's been a long 3-hour stream. The archive will be made available shortly, and then I'm hoping to do St. Petersburg tomorrow. The next day, I'm just waiting on the developer to send over a copy of the product, and we will be looking at St. Petersburg, which I'm also very excited about. Another great release for December. So other than that, I'm going to release you to go enjoy the rest of your weekend before Monday hits, and you have to dive into another crazy long week. So as always, be expecting a lot of news at airdailyx.net. And I'm hoping to get some more streams in this week as well. So As always, just stay tuned for those broadcasts. And other than that, I will see you guys all later. I'm gonna go get breakfast because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I still haven't eaten yet. See that? I put all of you before my own breakfast. See that? And the teddy bear is like, you're awesome, dude. So anyway, guys, thanks again for joining, and we'll see you guys all sometime during the week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.